KORG prologue for almost 2 years now. I bought the 8-voice 49 key version in the spring of 21, and recently, about 2 months ago, I replaced it with the 16-voice 61 key version, primarily for the keys. I wanted 61. I felt like I just needed a little bit more space. So I found myself toggling up and down on the octave buttons a little more than I wanted to, so I decided to upgrade. But I wanted to share with you today 5 reasons that I love the KORG prologue. So let's get started with reason number 1. The first reason that I really like the KORG prologue, and I recommend it to a lot of people, is the simplicity of getting into subtractive synthesis with that machine. There's not a lot of, there's a significant amount of menu diving that you can do, but there is so much knob per function design built into it that it's really easy to just start exploring subtractive synthesis. I bought a Minilog XD a few years ago, summer of 2020, and that was kind of my gateway into subtractive synthesis, and then almost a year later upgraded to the prologue for another reason that I'll get into in a minute. But just from an approachability standpoint, it's so easy to start working with subtractive synthesis, and the prologue makes it easy to learn more about it just by getting your hands on it. So that's the first reason I love the prologue. The second reason that I really like the KORG prologue is, as I just mentioned, I had a Minilog XD prior to having the prologue. When I got it, I was slightly disappointed by the size of the keys, and I never really got along with them well. They worked well enough for me to learn what I wanted to learn about subtractive synthesis, and to understand I wanted to continue to learn. But I knew that with the keys on the Minilog, I was as far as I could go. I was getting kind of frustrated with the size. So when I ordered the prologue, I got originally the 49 key version, and that key bed on the synthesizer is it's amazing. The feel, it's so good. I know it doesn't have aftertouch, and a lot of people list that in the con side of the ledger for the prologue. But just the build quality and the touch, it's just such a fantastic key bed. So that key bed is one of the second reason that I really like the KORG prologue. Reason number 3 that I really like the prologue is the look of it and the build of it. I've talked in the past about I feel like I connect better with an instrument when I think it looks nice. I know not everyone is like that, and I probably shouldn't be, but that's the way I am. So it is a fantastic looking synth. I think it's brushed aluminum black chassis is just gorgeous. It picks up fingerprints easily, which is the one drawback, but just keep a microfiber cloth laying around and it spiffs right up. Everything is black and silver, and then basically all your lights are red. I call it Synth Vader. I mean, if Darth Vader's chest panel was a synthesizer, it would be the prologue. It looks great. I love the looks of it. It's a very solidly built keyboard. It's significant in its weight, so I don't feel like it's a cheaply made or manufactured keyboard. So I like the look of it. I like the feel of it. It's got the end wood caps, and I know people are pretty divided on that. I happen to think it looks really nice on the prologue, so no complaints here. But again, the third reason is the look and the build of the keyboard. So the fourth thing I really like about the prologue is the built-in effects. There's reverbs and delays, chorus, ensemble, phaser, flanger. It just sounds really good. It adds a lot to the sound. It adds a lot to your design capabilities that you have all built into that box. And there are several of each of the types of effects that you can use. So it just helps you in my opinion, it helps you as you learn subtractive synthesis, that you kind of think, oh, I'm starting to develop this sound I really like. What happens if I add chorus or reverb or delay or whatever the case may be? Another great learning tool, but the effects sound really good, which is the fourth reason I really like the prologue. So reason number 5, I like the prologue. It kind of goes back to the first reason, which was it's easy to get into subtractive synthesis, but I feel like the synthesizer is very approachable. It just the layout of the panel, it all kind of makes sense. It kind of flows. Everything is logically laid out in my mind. And I haven't been around a whole lot of different types of these analog synths, but everything just makes sense. It's very approachable. Everything is where you think it should be. So if you think I'd like to change the octave on one of the oscillators, there's a lever right there for it. It's easy to do. If you think, oh, the LFO, let me work with it. The layout is just so intuitive. It's so easy to get around on. Yeah, it's just a very well put together and well thought out design in my mind. Those are 5 reasons that I really like the KORG prologue. There are many more things I could add, but those are 5 that I hope others will find useful. And I also wanted to play just a few of the patches that I've designed over my time with the prologue. I think I'm playing 8 at the end of this little talk right here. And I hope you'll stick around and listen to those. I'm really happy with how they've turned out. I'm kind of proud of them. And I'm happy to share those patches if anybody would like me to send those over. You can use the email address in my About tab. I'd be glad to get in touch with you and send that file over so you can use those presets if you like. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope that you found this useful. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks.